In this video, we're given a right triangle with sides that are given and angles that are not, and we want to use that to find the sine of A, the cosine of A, and the tangent of A, where capital A is this angle right here. So we want to find the sine, cosine, and tangent, and you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, I have the definitions of sine theta, cosine theta, and tangent theta. Sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, and the tangent theta is opposite over adjacent. Now, of course, this is probably not going to be given to you on a test, so you need to have this beside you as you work through assignments, but eventually you need to memorize this because you're going to use this in lots of future math classes. It's extremely important. So keep that in mind. So like I said, we're referring to angle A, so I'm going to mark that with red. This is the angle that we're going to use as our perspective. And from that angle, we're going to figure out what its opposite, what its hypotenuse, and what its adjacent are as we fill in these ratios. So let's go ahead and start with sine of A. So sine A is going to be equal to the opposite of A divided by the hypotenuse. So the opposite side of A is going to be right here, 7. So it's the one that's directly across from, and that's what the OPP or opposite means, is directly across from that angle. And then the hypotenuse is always going to be the angle that is opposite of the right angle or across from it. So that's going to give us 25. And so our answer for sine of A is going to be 7 over 25. Now you want to look to see if you can simplify these. Most of the time you won't be able to, but it's certainly possible, so just double check that. Now let's do cosine of A. So cosine A is going to be the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So the adjacent side for A is going to be the side length that is not the hypotenuse that is next to A, or is part of A. It makes up part of the angle. And so adjacent to A we have 24. And so that's going to go in the numerator because cosine of A is going to be its adjacent over hypotenuse. And again, our hypotenuse is 25. It's always going to be the side that's opposite of the right angle. And so this time we have 24 over 25. And again, we can't reduce that. So go ahead and put a box around it, and that's our answer for cosine A. And so now let's do tangent A much in the same way. So tangent A is going to be the opposite divided by the adjacent. And so again, let's color code this. So the opposite of A, again, is going to be 7. We already discussed that in sine. So 7 is going to go in the numerator. And the adjacent, we discussed that in cosine, is going to be 24. So we'll put 24 right there. And again, we cannot simplify, so 7 over 24 is going to be our answer. And so that's it. That's how you figure out the sine, cosine, tangent, or any other of our trig functions of a particular angle. You just want to be sure that you're taking everything from the perspective of that angle, and you want to be sure the opposite, the adjacent, and those kinds of things are from the perspective of that angle, and you should be good.